It's time, folks, for the 1 cube challenge. If I had to fit my collection in 1 cube of a Kallax, that's what this video is about. Imperial 2030, my favourite game in the whole world. The inventor of the Kallax really was not thinking about this game at the time they made it. PD Valag, why do you make such big boxes? I just can't fit this one in. I'm a centimetre short. So here we go then, I have to fit my favourite collection into the shelf of 1 Kallax. And I'm participating with a host of other channels with this challenge, all kicked off by Sterling from Cardboard Hunter. We've got loads of other goodness. We've got Chits and Cardboard. We've got Board and Saviour, Ballet Boardgames, Rolling with the Beard, One Board Family, Game Brigade, Tantrum House and Gaming Rules, who are all bringing you their 1 cube challenge. So, this was harder than I thought, folks. Now, I haven't got the biggest collection. I've only got a collection of like 30 games. I love to buy, then sell, and just keep a constant flow. So for me to fit my collection, which is 30 strong games, folks, all those games I absolutely love, into this 1 cube was absolutely a struggle. And as I said, Imperial 2030 will not fit. I could fit it at a slant, but that'd be a very quick video. There'd be 1 game. So I had to think long and hard about which games I was going to pop in it. And the first one then, which was tough because I've been playing this a bunch on Board Game Arena and I will only ever play this one solo now, and it's Ark Nova, and inside is the expansion Marine World. So this is the first game to slot in. Now it's a rather big box and it's full of content. Now why have I chosen this one? Well, it's a super production. It plays really well with all player counts. I wouldn't necessarily play it at 4 or 5. I just prefer it solo. It's a great game, 2-3 players, but for me, sitting down on an evening, looking through those cards, figuring out my strategy and maximizing and trying and testing all those different maps, that is super for me. I have such a wonderful time exploring all of the facets of this game. 2-3 players. Now, why don't I want to play ever again at those things? I will play them, but it's not my preferred choice. Mainly, it's too competitive, which is fine, but I don't want to race through this game. I want to enjoy, finding that elephant, finding that bear, getting the synergies right. Now, it was a tough call putting this in the cube because it's a big box and a BGA has a really good parallel game of this one, implementation out there. I can play it in like 15 minutes solo, super. But if I was to pick the Kallax, this is going in there for now, folks. Next, we have a game which is a piece of art for me. This sits in my bedroom, high up on the shelf. I look at it every day. Shark. Now, it's a tough call again because there's 3 games pretty similar to this and they all slightly differ. You've got Shark, you've got Big Boss, and you have got Acquire. But this one, for me, not only does it fit in nicely, but it looks beautiful. With the exception of the inside, it's a little bit, graphical design, shall we say. I do have Acquire, and I got this newer version recently. It just wouldn't quite fit in here. Now, some days, it depends what mood I'm in. I would prefer Acquire, it's streamlined, it's easy to teach, but Shark just offers for me that extra little tactical vibe of selling those shares. You're buying, you're selling, build up these companies, and as you expand one from 2 or more, you're increasing the share price and you get paid out that amount. Lots of money flowing. You need a good set of chips to play this one. Super game, very underrated, not really spoken about in the hobby, which is a big shame. Most people are starting to talk about Big Boss now, which is another fabulous game. It's had a reprint recently, and obviously Acquire has had many versions over the years. Fabulous games. This one represents all 3 for me. Next then, we have a game. I can hear the boos now in the distance. It's Catan. Now, this is one of my first modern games I ever purchased, and it's the longest standing game in my collection. It's a game I've had a lot of fun with the family, and we can just all have a good time with this. It's quick. Yes, it's all about the probabilities and a bit of luck factor, but you make the most of your luck in this game. So Catan, I don't really need to go through it too much. You all know the game, but yeah, it's in my collection. Right, the next one, a massive jump up here, folks, in complexity. We have 18 Chesapeake. This for me represents all 18xx games. Now, I have not played I barely scratched the surface, folks. This particular tile, yes, it's the one I own, and I don't own loads, but this is the one I'm putting in. But for me, it represents the whole heart and soul of 18xx. What a fabulous genre. You've got so many crunchy decisions with the stock phase, you've got the operating phase, and how this flows around the table, just the initial waterfall auction. And then, yes, it's trains, but after a while, you're not even looking at the trains. You're looking at the routes, you're looking at your income. How can I screw that other player over? Maximize my returns and those sneaky efficiencies. And there's so many different variations in this genre to really go and explore. Yes, you need a longer playing time, and you need the players who are willing to sacrifice an afternoon, potentially even an evening, to fit this in. But for me, 18xx, folks, especially obviously being the economic board game around here, is an absolute must, and it's going in. Now you can see my shelf space is rapidly deteriorating here, but I've got a little bit of space at the back there to push these ones. Right, next up, a game which is brutal, and I could not have this not be on my shelf. Food Chain Magnate, super game, folks, on the heavier complexity. A big old learning curve, but once you've got through about 5-6 plays, to be fair, I've played about 10-12 times, so I'm still finding little tweaks and rules I forget from now and then. But yeah, 5-6 plays, you will see the true meaning of this game. Now, the board, on first impressions, you're like, is this even a finalised, publicised game? Is it a prototype? No, it is what it looks like. And obviously, there's a newer version coming out soon. Fabulous overproduction, in my opinion. This does the job. Such a highly strategic game. I just have to have this in my collection, which is just about gonna slot in there. Now, I probably should have worked backwards and had all my games in there first. Next up, and I've only got 2 more left, only 2 more I can squeeze in, is a stock market game. Now, there's plenty of stock market games out there. I've featured many over the years on the channel, but there's one that just keeps popping up for me, and it is Gut. Super little game, folks, and I just have so much joy showcasing this to everyone, really. And it's going up and down on the share prices, buying and selling. It's really, intuitive as to how to play this. And I have the short-in expansion added in, which isn't an official expansion, someone recommended it, so it really elevated the game for me, this one. Now, it's a close call between this and the game I played recently, Bear Raid, which, wowzers, that game really represents a lot of stock market aspects, and that is the more. I only played it once, but I'm really enamored by that game, and that in 2 or 3 more plays may make it into this shelf. But for now, Gut, I have a lot of fun with this. A lot of people really haven't heard of this or tried it, but just super stock market game, folks. A little bit beige, I get that, but it's definitely going in. Now, what have I done wrong here, folks? I think I've got the angle wrong. It did fit in earlier. Right, it's going in there. I will squeeze. There we are. Magic. It's all in. Okay, the last game, folks. Now, I am the economic board game, as you're all aware. But one non-economic board game had to make it in, and it is Star Wars, the deck building game. We've just got a tad bit of space there. Super 2-player game, folks. I've been playing this an absolute bunch recently. Had to go in the cube for me, mainly because all my other games are rather strategic and a lot of economic going on. But this one, yeah, if I could fit the roll mat in there, I would. Super game, love this. Really thematic to the vibe of the early Star Wars films. Expansion coming soon as well. Now, there's a couple of games I couldn't fit in, and obviously I've mentioned Imperial. Another one was Power Grid. Now, this ain't just Power Grid, the original. It's a good game, but I'm done with that one. This is with the expansion, Stock Companies, which absolutely elevates the game for me. But are many people going to play it? Probably not. But that really fits in that 18xx genre for me. But I had to mention it, folks. That is my cube. Now, I've got little bits of space going around here. I just don't own any small games. I'm leaving potential for future games out there to impress me, and I've made a bit of space for you. So thanks all for watching. Had a blast of this. Good luck to all the other channels. Can't wait to see your 1 cube challenge as well. There we are. Bye for now.